Pacific Crest Cemetery, Redondo Beach, California. I'm here today to do the graves of two very sad and tragic cases. The first one is Deputy David Alan Powell, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Deputy. He was murdered November 30th, 2002, died at 42 years of age. He is buried right up there, just a few feet. Let's walk through this. On November 30th, 2002, about 10:30 in the morning, deputies from the Norwalk Sheriff's Station took a suspect into custody after a lengthy foot pursuit. Of course, there was an overhead helicopter that was guiding them to find and arrest the suspect. However, moments after that was done, two gang members from nearby Artesia, under the influence of narcotics, they walked across 166th Street into the territory of their rival gang and just began shooting rounds into the air indiscriminately, just happy-go-lucky firing upwards, which is very, very, very illegal. Several 911 calls came into the Norwalk station. The helicopter continued prowling overhead. Sheriff's deputies were soon on the scene, including Deputy David Alan Powell here and his partner. There were two shooters found on 167th Street. Powell and his partner walked toward the 12,000 block 167th Street, and there was a cul-de-sac where the suspects ran to. They ran into this cul-de-sac. The two men, however, split up. One attempted to hide between the houses, and the other one forced his way into the house with two women inside. So we had a hostage situation going on there. They had a hostage situation. However, the women managed to escape safely. However, Deputy Powell and his partner didn't know that. In the confusion and the action, they didn't get the information that the women were safe. They weren't in the house. So they got to the house thinking that it was a hostage situation. Deputy Powell forced his way into the house to rescue the woman, who wasn't even there. He kicked the door down, and as he kicked the door down, the suspect fired multiple rounds through the door at the deputies. Poor Deputy Powell was mortally wounded. They took him to the hospital, but he died. They managed to get him to the hospital, and he died 90 minutes later. They arrested the young man who killed him, Alberto Reyes. I'll put the spelling of that in the description. 21 years old, a gangbanger. No, they didn't arrest him. Actually, Alberto Reyes was killed. He was shot and died. So, County of LA saved themselves the expense of a trial there. However, the second suspect, Robert Hernandez, was arrested a short distance away. He didn't face any charges for Deputy Powell's murder because he wasn't there. He didn't do it. But here lies Deputy Powell. Let's take a walk to his grave. Deputy Powell was an 18-year veteran of the Sheriff's Department. When he died, he left behind his lovely wife of 12 years. They had been married 12 years, Emma. He had a daughter by her, Brianna. And Emma had a previous marriage where she had, I think, 3 previous daughters, which Deputy Powell was a daddy to them. Here he is. I already put a stone on his grave. Rest in peace, top cop. And this man was brave. He kicked down a door knowing that there was a suspect inside, and he gave his life to save others. God's faithful servant who loved to laugh. Sounds like he was a believer. Rest in peace, sir. Thank you for your service to LA County. And my deepest condolences to your family, your wife, your children, your grandchildren. May they all be comforted by the Holy Spirit.